This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Now at 6, a state representative in trouble with the law, arrested for drunken driving and impersonating a police officer. Details you'll hear only on RTV6.
How does that make you feel as a mom? Worried. Very worried.
2 kids shot within blocks of each other. The anti-violence effort's underway now as one teenager fights for his life.
A former Indiana National Guard contractor is speaking out about the agency's top leader. I'm Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny with what she has to say about his resignation.
We begin now at 6 with an Indianapolis state representative arrested for drunken driving and impersonating a police officer.
Democratic Representative Dan Forrestal, who is also an Indianapolis firefighter, was arrested over the weekend on the east side. RTV6's Cameron Riddle has more info you will only hear on RTV6 about Saturday's arrest. Cameron.
Mark and Amanda, good evening. Tonight, we are learning that the state representative tried to use his position of power and his firefighter's badge to threaten police officers and at least 2 unknown civilians. The timeline of what police say happened on the night of Forrestal's arrest on the east side is still unclear. But tonight, we do know that Representative Forrestal's night of accused crimes ended after being pulled over by police as he left the roadway inn near 21st and Shadeland. The 36-year-old Democrat elected to the Indiana House in 2012 also works as a private for the Indianapolis Fire Department. New information uncovered by RTV6 reveals Forrestal had to be pulled out of his vehicle by 2 officers as he clutched the steering wheel. The officers who pulled Forrestal over reported that they could smell alcohol on his breath, but he refused a breathalyzer test. When a judge granted a blood draw and search warrant, Forrestal allegedly ripped the search warrant out of the officer's hands. A sheriff's deputy eventually put Forrestal in restraints and a blood draw was conducted. At some point, Forrestal identified himself as a state rep, firefighter, and nephew of Marion County Sheriff Kerry Forrestal. According to police reports, a responding officer noted Forrestal threatened to have the police officers fired, saying, quote, due to his position in public safety and as a state rep, he would have all of the officers' badges. Other information in the report reveals that at some point in their investigation, officers talked to a couple who called 911 after they said Forrestal approached them in a car saying, quote, I'm a legit officer doing a drug bust, and today is the last day before the feds descend and start kicking in doors. The report says Forrestal showed the woman his badge and asked her where, quote, are people selling drugs? Another officer spoke to a bartender at the Blue Moon Tavern on the city's east side, who told police Forrestal was harassing customers while telling them he was a firefighter looking for, quote, party favors, such as cocaine. And tonight, Representative Forrestal is facing preliminary charges of impersonating a public servant, resisting law enforcement, and operating a vehicle while intoxicated. The Indianapolis Fire Department does confirm that Forrestal is an active firefighter with IFD. They tell RTV6 that they are monitoring this pending investigation. We also reached out to the Indiana Democratic Caucus, who declined to comment on Forrestal's arrest. RTV6 is continuing to dig into this timeline of what happened and surrounded Forrestal's arrest. We will let you know as soon as we continue to learn more of these details. We'll have them for you here on RTV6 and on the RTV6 app. Working for you live downtown tonight, I'm Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Cameron, thank you. And new at 6 from Call 6 Investigates, the Indianapolis Housing Agency has hired a law firm to investigate a homophobic slur against the agency's leader. At the direction of the mayor, the IHA board voted today to launch an independent investigation of this incident. Rod Morgan chairs the Insight Board, which is the not-for-profit arm of IHA. Morgan is accused of using a derogatory slur against John Hall, the executive director of the Indianapolis Housing Agency, at the end of a meeting last month. The Taft law firm in Indianapolis will lead this investigation.
The resignation of the Indiana National Guard's top leader is prompting more questions tonight. The governor announced Monday he asked Major General Courtney Carr to step down. Today, a former contractor with the Indiana National Guard sat down with Call 6 Investigates' Kara Kenny. That woman is telling us why she's suing Carr and why she thinks his resignation is far from enough.
Sherry McLaughlin was working here at the Indiana National Guard Tyndall Armory on North Pennsylvania back in 2017 as a government contractor. She says she wasn't here long before the problem started. Sherry McLaughlin is a mother to 2 children and does not want us to show her face.
I've been terrified for the last 2 years. My career's over. I have no way to provide for my 2 small boys. I feel like I'm blacklisted in the state because I asked for help.
Sherry says Major General Courtney Carr, the Adjutant General of the Indiana National Guard, had an affair with a subordinate.
Would you say these affairs among the higher-ups were rampant?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Everybody's sleeping with somebody.
Sherry says when she spoke up, she was subjected to retaliation and intimidation, and ultimately she resigned. And when she got a different job,
within 10 days, I was terminated from it.
Sherry alleges in her lawsuit Carr was behind the retaliation. She's suing him for defamation.
It's an abuse of power.
Carr surrounded himself with people in power, including state and federal officials. Days after Call 6 Investigates reported on Sherry's August 1st lawsuit, Governor Eric Holcomb asked for the Adjutant General to step down. He's retiring from the Indiana National Guard.
I was shocked, but it also struck me as odd that he's retiring with full benefits, and it's not really a slap on the wrist for him at all. He loses nothing, meanwhile I lose everything.
The governor is the commander of the Indiana National Guard during times of peace. Sherry says she reached out to Holcombs' office starting in October 2017 via phone and through the website.
Did you ever get a meeting with the governor?
No, I did not.
Did you ever get a response from the governor's office?
No, I did not.
Sherry's attorney says they sent a letter to the governor's office back in April asking the office to preserve any records in the Carr matter. And they sent this tort claim notice to Carr and the attorney general back in April as well. Sherry says the governor could have taken action sooner.
It's not just me, it's all the service members, all the veterans that are being hurt by all of this as well.
Sherry says she hopes her lawsuit will clear her name and prompt changes within the Indiana National Guard. Brigadier General Timothy Winslow will serve as the interim leader of the Indiana National Guard until Governor Holcomb appoints a new one. Working for you in Indianapolis, I'm Call 6 Investigates' Kara Kenny.
Well, we reached out to Carr's attorney for comment, and we are still waiting to hear back. RTV6 also sent a list of questions to Governor Holcomb's office, and the office has not yet answered them. The Indiana National Guard did issue a statement saying, quote, "The Indiana National Guard as a whole prioritizes its care for all uniformed and civilian personnel within the organization and continues to be a ready and reliable force supporting its communities, state, and nation." New at 6, a Hendricks County football coach accused of sexual misconduct with a student says he didn't do it. Tri-West High School head football coach Tyler Bruce is on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of a criminal investigation. His attorney issued a statement to RTV6 saying Bruce denies the allegations. The attorney goes on to say they do not intend to try this case in the court of public opinion. A North Salem family has filed a tort claim against the Northwest Hendricks County School Corporation alleging their daughter was molested by Bruce.
Tonight, Metro Police are investigating 2 separate morning shootings, both involving young people on the east side. One of the victims just 2 years old. Just after 6 a.m., a 17-year-old boy was shot and critically wounded north of Washington Street on Linwood Avenue. That's near East Washington and Emerson. Police say it is not clear if the victim was waiting for the school bus or walking in the area. And just a few blocks away, around 8 a.m., investigators say a 2-year-old boy was shot in the wrist in the 400 block of North Bradley Avenue. That's in the Tuxedo Park neighborhood. Police have not released much info, but say the child did not shoot himself. He is expected to be okay. Police do not believe the 2 shootings are related. And a shooting on the way to school, another at home. RTV6's Stephanie Wade is in this East Side neighborhood hearing from people and shining a light on efforts underway now to help the community.
Neighbors tell me tonight they are tired of the violence. The 2-year-old is expected to be okay after being shot in the wrist at this home off of Michigan and Sherman Drive.
A 2-year-old baby. I can only imagine what that mother is going through.
A violent morning on Indy's east side. Within 2 hours, a 2-year-old and a 17-year-old were shot just blocks from each other. Having a 9-year-old son herself, Kelly Saldivar, who lives nearby, says,
I hope and pray that it's never him. I hope and pray that it's never any child.
But there are efforts to help catch kids before they fall.
We come from the struggle. We bred by the struggle. This is out of necessity.
Shane Shepard founded Before You Fall to help people struggling in the community, especially kids.
These young black kids, they grew up in war-torn environments where they go to funeral after funeral after funeral after funeral with no help.
He teaches kids in an after-school program from all across the city.
I got them from 42nd and Post Road. They got assigned seats. I know where you from.
That the violence they see spill out on the streets, or in this case, even at home.
This is in every neighborhood in Indianapolis. Police can't do nothing about it. The detectives can't do nothing about it.
Stems from other problems.
Poverty, lack of jobs, undereducation, lack of care, and then hopelessness.
This program gives kids the support, the community, and the skills to take charge of their own lives before they fall.
Hope is in here. It's not me, it's not Miss Majors, it's not the chief of police. It got to start inside of self. Then you got to go out and find the things that you need to get better.
Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Thanks, Steph. And to get involved in Before You Fall, we will attach a link on our website at theindychannel.com.
There is still a long way to go, but we do have a better idea of how your tax money next could be spent next year in Indianapolis. Mayor Joe Hogsetts introduced his budget proposal last night to the City County Council. Over the next month, the different departments will give their individual budget proposals to different committees so the councilors know the ins and outs of the budget before they make a final vote in October. There is a lot to know in the budget proposal, but here are some of the top changes from this year. Hogsetts wants to allocate $300,000 for the Panhandling employment program. About $120,000 was spent on the pilot program this summer. He is also requesting about $1.5 million for another DPW shift to work later in the day. And he wants an additional $100,000 to be given to the arts organizations throughout the county. Still ahead here on the news at 6, getting into the state fair for free. It's happening tomorrow, but not all day.
And shaping futures at a young age, the program that puts kids on a path from classroom to career, all while in high school.
I know it's back to school time, but there's a playoff push for the Indianapolis Indians. More on that and new information about Andrew Luck's left leg, courtesy of Colts owner Jim Irsay. Man, did that cause a stir today. Coming up in just a bit.
And this evening, our rain coverage is very limited. That's going to be great news for the Indians game. We'll talk about when you're most likely to see some more wet weather moving into your backyard. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
I'm gonna tie my shoes. Discount. This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Our Hiring Hoosiers initiative helps connect you with jobs, skills, and resources to find the job that's right for you. This month, we're putting our focus on programs and schools that help young people go from classroom to career. 40 students at Pike High School are learning the skills they need to enter the field of barbering. Unlike cosmetology, barber students learn how to use a straight razor on the skin. The program also goes more in depth on skin care. The students attend class for part of the day and then come here to the barbershop inside the school for the other half. The program has been around for 5 years and always attracts a lot of interest. Students learn precision cutting, how to do facials, the art of shaving, along with skills applicable to any career like professionalism, marketing skills, and how to build their own brand. Students feel this helps lead to a future right after high school.
Makes me feel good. It makes me feel safe and comfortable to get out of school and be by myself. It lets me know that I have a chance to provide for myself if nobody can do it for me.
Students graduate with a barber certification when they complete the program and have all the skills they need to work right away in a barber shop. Tomorrow, the Indiana Pacers are hosting a job fair to fill part-time positions. Jobs are available in a number of departments, including the box office, team store, guest relations, ushers, freelance camera and production, public safety, and digital marketing. Supervisors and current part-time employees will be available to meet with you. Online and paper applications will be available on site. That job fair takes place tomorrow in the entry pavilion of Bankers Life Fieldhouse from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Today is $2 Tuesday at the Indiana State Fair, but tomorrow you can get in free before 3. Tomorrow is Farmers Day at the State Fair, and in honor of our heroes of the field, also known as Hoosier Farmers, the fair announced today that it will offer free gate admission tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Parking is still $8 a car. After 3 p.m., fair admission will be the regular $13. And in keeping with the free theme, Boys II Men will be on the free stage tomorrow night at 7:30. Kyle.
Sure to be a busy place tomorrow, and we're going to have some pretty nice weather in the forecast, too. We'll take you hour by hour through your Wednesday this evening. Yeah, we've had some clouds out there, finally starting to see some blue sky across portions of Indiana and a couple of isolated showers, but that's really about it. This has taken up a very small chunk of real estate here. You can see a couple of those showers south of Richmond and I-70 moving toward Connorsville. Not going to last very long and really not going to do much of anything to help out with the dry conditions we've had lately. 83 degrees in downtown. It's 82 for you in Kokomo with those cloudy skies. Bloomington at 86. We've got a little bit of a north breeze. If you're heading out to the Indiana State Fair this evening, we've got mostly cloudy skies. Can't entirely rule out that stray shower. It's not going to last very long, though, if you see it at all. A west wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour with those temperatures falling through the 70s, and eventually tomorrow morning we'll find our numbers lower to middle 60s across central Indiana. So a little cooler than where we started off this morning, where we had some of those showers and thunderstorms. Not really going to see that tomorrow. Here's a look at your forecast as we take you through the day. Still quite a bit of cloud cover, but you notice our temperatures, they're going to be getting to around 80 degrees at noon, lower to middle 80s for that afternoon high. So we're still keeping it pretty comfortable here. May see a little more sunshine as we go into the afternoon, and that rain chance only 20% again Wednesday afternoon. Looks like we'll have a dry day on Thursday. So we do have some rain chances scattered through the forecast here. You just notice they're not very high. Even as we go to the upcoming weekend, about a 30% chance of a shower or storm on Saturday, so no need to cancel plans there. As we check out TrueCast throughout the day tomorrow, we've got the clouds, and as we head into that heating of the afternoon, that's where we may spark off a couple of those very isolated showers. Once again, probably not even enough that you're going to need that umbrella out there. Your temperature, 80 degrees tomorrow afternoon in Frankfort, 81 in Kokomo, 83 in Anderson. You'll find it 85 in Morgan County in Martinsville for your Wednesday afternoon, 82 in Crawfordsville, and those numbers a little bit warmer as we work our way to the south. Still going to have that humidity around, so it'll feel close to 90 degrees in Seymour at 87, 84 your high in Greensburg, but temperatures over the next couple of days are actually going to be a little bit below that average of 84 degrees. 80 degrees for the high on Thursday, but look at what happens as we go toward the upcoming weekend. It does get a little warmer out there. We're still in August, still in summer in central Indiana, so we're going to see those temperatures rising, and it'll feel like summer. 7-day planning forecast as we put it all together here for you. There are those very slight rain chances, most of us staying dry through the rest of the week. Chance for a couple of those showers and storms this weekend with temperatures in the upper half of the 80s. Could sneak in a 90 degree here or there, and early next week we've got highs in the middle 80s.
Is that summer trying to hold on?
It's trying to hang in
Looks
there.
like it.
Yeah. Thanks, Kyle. Well, the Indianapolis Indians are back home tonight to begin a 6-day homestand at Victory Field.
But there's also a lot of talk about Andrew Luck today. Sports director Dave First joins us live at Victory Field.
Sure sign, by the way, that summer is still hanging on. We're still talking baseball. We'll do more of that here in a second. But the big story today, of course, the situation involving Colts quarterback Andrew Luck, originally diagnosed or at least announced that his strained left calf. Well, Colts owner Jim Irsay did a national radio interview last night in which he said there's a little more to it than that.
Everyone's had their questions about Andrew and that sort of thing, but I really feel very confident that he's going to, find his way through this thing. I think, after Durant thing and everything, everyone's erring on the side of caution. But quite frankly, this is not even in the Achilles tendon. It's, in another area. It's a bone. I'm not good at these things, but it's called something else. It's a small little bone, and Ryan Deem had it, and Raheem Brock, I think, had it. The trainers told me. But he's doing very well, very excited. He's a married man, baby on the way, and he couldn't be more excited for the season. And we wish there wasn't any little tweaks at all. But, as you know, Bill, these things come up, and you just got to deal with them.
Okay, so several things and all that. Durant is a reference to NBA superstar Kevin Durant, who also had a calf strain, but then blew out his Achilles on his return during the NBA Finals. And Mo is a likely reference to a condition called myositis ossificans, where bone tissue forms inside a muscle, in this case, Andrew's left calf. By the way, that's not what former Colt Ryan Deem suffered during his playing days. He told me he had a much different injury than that. But still some new information concerning Andrew Luck. Keep in mind, the opener now just over 3 weeks away in the NFL. Back to baseball, meantime. 7-game homestand begins tonight here at Victory Field. 3 against Rochester, then 4 against Lehigh Valley. And a doubleheader is involved as well. All this as the Indians are 9 games out of first place. Take a look at the homestand highlights tonight and then the rest of the week. Should be a lot of fun out here. Day game tomorrow. Thursday's Bachelor Night. Ben Higgins in town. Doubleheader Friday. And the Paw Patrol. My son Zach would love that. They're in town Saturday and Sunday. Hey, hope you join us tonight on the news at 11 o'clock. Our Sports Extra Spotlight. We're heading to Bloomington, checking in on IU football with just a few weeks before the season opener against Ball State at Lucas Oil Stadium. A lot of eyes on the quarterbacks. Peyton Ramsey returns, but there's buzz about the arms of Michael Penix and Jack Tuttle. Brad Brown with more tonight. Sports Extra Spotlight on the news at 11 o'clock. And finally tonight, first and foremost, hey, back to the bigs. And Reds rookie Aristides Aquino continues to defy everything we know about big league baseball. The right fielder with the 2-run blast in the 8th inning last night. It's his 8th home run in just 12 career games, which is a major league record. Think about this. Since his call-up a couple weeks ago, he had 15 hits. 8 of those 15 are now for home runs. Reds still lost, though, at Washington last night, 7-6. Same 2 beat again tonight. Reds 5.5 games out at that second and final NL wild card spot. Baseball and a lot about Andrew Luck. How about that news? Stirring everyone. Coltsdom all around the country. For now, Dave First reporting live from Victory Field, RTV6 Sports.
Tailgate.
All right, rounding out the week with just a couple of small shower chances here and there. One of those going to be tomorrow afternoon, another on Friday with comfortable temperatures in the lower 80s. It gets a little warmer, and that will produce a little better chance for some showers and storms for the upcoming weekend.
All right, thanks for choosing RTV6. We appreciate it.
We'll be right back here at 7. See you then.